Consultation style. That is what we are talking about, is your consultation style in the aesthetics room. How would you describe it? Are you even aware that you have a specific style? So today I'm going to be unpacking why that's really important to be self-aware and cognizant of what your style is, because knowing what kind of style you have and following up with really some good self-reflection can really provide you some valuable insights into your strengths, into areas of improvement that you need to draw attention to, and ultimately how to grow and adapt to get the results that you need and want for your patients and for the med spa. And it first starts with really being self-aware and cognizant of what kind of style that you are presenting in the consultation room. Now, I would say that with consultations, that is not only in your med spa, but also, when you are in any kind of sales or leadership, right? And this was really first brought to my attention in my very early years of business when I had a manager ask me what my style was. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what my style is. And I started describing all of these things. And they shared with me that they like to break it down into these three categories when you are thinking about your consultation style. So here they are. Number one, a robot. And how I would describe a robot is these are all the features, right? It's just boom, 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 boom. This is how it works. This is the science behind it. Do you want it, right? That's just like a robot. You're not an active listener. Another one is a fisherman and a hunter. And I would tell you that early on, people often first are robots, right? When they are new to the industry or consultations in general, and they're just robots, right? They are like, okay, this is how the device works. This is how many pulses you're going to get. This is how long it's going to take. Do you want it, right? They're not really an active listener and uncovering pain points and overcoming common questions and objections, and certainly not getting the commitment. Now, the next one is a hunter. And this is when someone becomes a little bit more cognizant of their style and really wanting to level up their conversion rate. They go straight to becoming a hunter. And I would say, if I had honest self-reflection, that for many years, I was a hunter in the sense that I was chasing people and I was using different tactics, right, to get commitments. And that serves you only to a certain point or a level, right? Hunters can only really get so far when you're chasing and using tactics, right? Now, the third phase of a consultation style is what I call a fisherman. Now, a fisherman, they're going to attract what they desire by being really patient and using the right bait, right? So at the end of the day, if you had to choose between being a robot, a hunter, and a fisherman, in my opinion, you absolutely want to be a fisherman in the consultation room. And so let's break down what that looks like, because a fisherman is going to really attract that dreamy patient that you want to work with. That patient that listens and actually does the advice that you tell them to. That patient is loyal to you. That patient uses, many, if not all of the tools in your tool belt that you have to offer them. And when you are a fisherman, you are able to gain influence and really adopt what I would call a fisherman's mindset in the consultation room to get the patient to take action and commit to treatment plans that's ultimately going to get them the result that they want, and for you to help grow revenue in the med spa. So that's that win-win that we are always after at the end of the day. So let's break down what is a fisherman's mindset in the consultation room and why that is so important, and why really this is the biggest difference in increasing your revenue per hour. I have this conversation so many times with med spas all across the country, in the sense of, why one's med spa or why one provider can get 10 new Botox patients, and they spend altogether $2,000 with 10 new patients, right? And another med spa could make $5,000 or $10,000 off of those same 10 med spa new Botox patients. And the reality is, at the end of the day, it's not the cost per lead or how much it costs to acquire a patient that really varies that much from one med spa to the next, from one provider to the next. But the biggest difference is, what do you do with that patient once they come in? And it all goes down in the consultation room. And when you adopt a fisherman's mindset, you are going to see massive results and progress, again, for your patients' results and for your revenue for the med spa. So there's four traits of a fisherman's mindset. And the first one, if I can get, it's not so woo-woo, but maybe a little woo-woo here for a second, is that you have to have a belief in abundance. You can't have a scarcity mindset. If you lose a consult or one patient, you have to stay confident that there's more patients out there, right? That there's countless patients, that there is more patients to go around, that you can even serve, right? And so if one comes in and you don't convert that consultation, or let's say you get a patient and they don't rebook, or you find out that they go to another med spa down the street, then you can't woe is me, right? You can't blame the patient. You have to have a belief in abundance, that there is more fish in the sea, right? Now, however, you do need to have some honest self-reflection to see if there was anything different that you could have done better, or differently, right? But at the end of the day, not all patients are right for you, and you have to be okay with that. That's why I always say, when you're in the consultation room and you're not vibing with a patient, that don't waste your time, and it's okay. And don't compartmentalize that, that platform or that marketing effort, or that one bad apple means that entire platform or strategy sucks and isn't going to work for you, right? You just have to build up that armor and move on to the next patient, because you know that there are more patients out there, that there is an abundance of patients to go around, that there is plenty more than you can even potentially handle, right? And so that kind of confidence, and not having this fearful mindset or desperation in the consultation room, really goes a long way. So the second thing is that you only want to fish where the fish are biting, right? So don't waste your time on people that aren't biting, people that aren't your people, that aren't interested in your services. Now, don't ignore those people that just aren't buying right now. And there's a difference, right? There's a difference between someone that is not interested in all versus just not interested or not ready to buy right now. There's a big difference, right? Because eventually those people that just aren't buying right now, they will be ready, and you want to be able to capture those. But don't waste your time on, let's say, for example, someone that is just like, oh, I don't, like, I would never do Botox. I would never poison my body, right? We've heard of some of those patients before, right? Like, don't waste your time trying to educate them on, why Botox would be a good fit and what the safety and FDA regulations behind it and why they don't need to worry about those things. Like, don't waste your time on that, right? However, another example of where you could, right, is like maybe someone comes in and like she's pregnant or she's breastfeeding, right? So she can't do Botox right now, but she shared with you that she does want to get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles. And so that would be a good person to invest time in because eventually she will be ready, right? Or medical weight loss, right? She may just be focusing on your medical weight loss program right now, but you want to start talking to her about your body contouring, or cellulite removal or skin tightening after she loses all that weight or filler, right? So that she doesn't have the semaglutide face, right? Because we want to make sure that we are talking to the walkers, the joggers, and sprinters and meeting them where they are right now, right? And educating, nurturing them, providing value. That's what a fisherman does. Okay. A hunter would go and try to forcefully get them to buy, even if they're not ready, and use tactics that way, right? Where a fisherman is going to meet them where they're at and bring them along until they are ready to make a commitment and get started, to nurture them, to build a relationship with them, to educate them, right? Because a sprinter is ready to buy right now. A walker is in the education and consideration phase, right? And so everything in between. So the second trait of a fisherman is to only fish where the fish are biting. Now, the third thing is that you want to develop a really attractive bait, right? The best bait is not your products or services. Guys, all med spas have the same devices and treatments to offer, right? Now, you can debate all day long about who has the better brand name device, but to the consumer, it's pretty much all the same, right? And so you got to develop a really attractive bait. And guys, your Botox, your filler brands, your devices, that's not the bait. You want to know what the bait is? The bait is you, your character, your skills, your passion, your stories, right? Why you even got into this business, this industry, what you have done to impact your patients' lives. That is your bait. And that is going to make you a really great fisherman. The fourth trait is to make sure that you tailor your bait to suit the fish that you want to attract, that you want to work with, right? You got to do your research and know who that ideal dreamy patient that you want to work with is. And then how do they want to be communicated with? How do they want to be held accountable? How do they want to be marketed to? How do they want to be recommended in treatment plans or memberships or financing? You got to get real clear with that. And I get pushback sometimes from clients because they don't want to get too specific or too niche. And I will just tell you that you can't be afraid of that. Oftentimes we're trying to speak to too many different types of patients because you have this tool to help this person and that tool to help that one, right? And then all of a sudden we're not helping anyone because we're not talking to anyone with any kind of frequency or consistency, right? And I can tell you from my own perspective in business, in consulting and marketing for med spas all across the country, is that my ideal client is a woman business owner trying to build her empire and live her best life and fulfill all of her dreams, both personally and professionally. But guys, I have to tell you, I have a lot of male clients at the end of the day. So while I cast that out there, that I'm here to empower women and help you build the lifestyle, business, dreams, teams, everything, I still have a whole bunch of male clients at the end of the day, right? And so you can't be afraid to micro niche down. I'm going to attract more of those ideal dreamy clients, but I'm still going to get people that they know and believe that I can absolutely serve them at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you get really clear and to make sure that you, in your marketing and your consultation and what you're saying on the phone, that you really exude that at the end of the day, because that is going to attract more of those patients towards you. Now, when it comes to really tailoring your bait, I'm also a really big believer that first impressions matter, right? So if you are trying to be luxury, high end, high ticket, then you better dress the part. Your front desk, lobby, waiting room, treatment rooms better be first class, right? It's got to match, right? The bait has to match the expectation at the end of the day. So make sure that you are thinking about that as well. And what you look like and how you present yourself. I think there is, man, I have a real hard time with providers looking a hot mess when they're trying to sell beauty and health, right? And so you got to look the part. And some days it's hard, right? We got a lot going on. And a lot of times, we're up late and early and shuffling kids and trying to do it all, right? But it matters at the end of the day. So make sure that you hold that expectation with yourself and your team at the end of the day. And you want to make sure that you're using the right approach in the consultation room to match where the patient is right now, right? Because and being able to really build that trust and confidence with them. Because remember, guys, they're not buying a product or a treatment, they're buying you. They're really buying you at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you're meeting them where they are right now. Hey, Nina. Hey, Maggie. Hi, Dwayne. Lots of people watching on Instagram. Hey, Moore Center. Shani, thanks, guys, for watching us. Hey, Dr. Pickens. All right, so I'd like to open up the floor if there are any questions. But first and foremost, I want you guys to first have some self-reflection and awareness for a minute, right? For yourself and your team, right? If you are a leader, if you are a business owner, I want you to look at each individual team member and ask yourself in that person, have a conversation, invest some time in coaching and loving on them a little bit to help them become more self-aware, because it's going to make them better in the consultation room. It's going to help them convert more leads to actual patients. It's going to increase revenue per hour. It's going to increase rebooking rates. And that's what we're after, right? And so let's see and evaluate our team and look at, do we have robots? Do we have hunters? Or do we have fishermen, right? And what I love about a hunter is their desire to grow and to convert leads to actual patients, right? And they are great opportunities to convert them over to fishermen when you show them a pathway of how they're going to be able to feed themselves more, right? To get even better results for their patients when they are open to a different perspective and transitioning into a fisherman, and educating them on this is not, sitting back and just waiting for business to come or patients to come your way. This is actually a strategy so that you can grow faster. You can get more patients that spend more money, that get even better results when you adopt a fisherman's mindset at the end of the day. All right. So I hope this training was helpful for you. This is a really great one to share with your team. This is a really great one for practice managers that are coaching providers on how to become better in the consultation room. This is a mindset shift that I believe is really crucial in helping you level up your team, and a great first conversation starter. So make sure that you share it, have a really good in-depth conversation about it, and begin exploring on how you can help your team to adopt a fisherman's mindset and what that is going to look like and take at the end of the day, because it's going to help you to increase revenue per hour, number of visits per year, and your rebooking rates when you adopt a fisherman's mindset. All right, guys. If you loved this training, make sure that you share it with your team or another med spa that could benefit. You can always catch the replay on my YouTube channel. And to get access to more free trainings, make sure that you visit my link tree and my bio, and you can catch us same time, same place every single week. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks so much, guys. Have an awesome day.